What's up, Amanda?
Oh, you know.
So were we burning content?
We're always burning content.
We're always burning content. We get in so much trouble by our producers for
all of
burning
them.
Content. I've never used those words before. And
in the last 2 months of your life.
The last 2 months of doing a podcast, I have learned burning content more than, because we just talk about everything all the time.
But this is what we do.
This is what we do.
Every morning, we're together, we're working out, we're talking about all the things we've watched, our children, our husbands, our friends. Yeah. And A, we're hilarious.
I mean, I think we are.
And B, we're clearly verbal processors. This is how we get through life.
Oh, I like that. Verbal processors.
I learned this from my sister-in-law / best friend, Ginger. She was like, oh, yeah, I need to talk through all of the emotions so I don't take it out on people.
That's a good one. I am a verbal processor for sure.
100% you are.
But should we get started with our show?
Yes.
You guys, welcome to What Women Binge. All right, Father of the Bride.
And I literally said to my agent, I'm quitting the business.
It's always when you quit that you get the big job.
Exactly. I said, I'm going to become a journalist now.
Father of the Bride leads you to being a bride.
I still can't believe we get to do this every week.
We get to do this every week, and we get to have fun, fabulous guests, and we get to just talk about whatever our little hearts desire. But I'm learning so much, but I also feel like, am I wasting my time watching so much TV? I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm immersing myself in whatever our guests are into or what they've worked on. And it's been great. Everything from like diving deep into Betty White or Harry Potter or, even Out of This World that Vanessa Evigan wanted,
I love that one.
It's been so fun, but I mean, it's a lot of content. And I feel like, is this the best use of my time?
There are days where I don't feel like I have enough hours to fit it all in.
Yeah.
But it is really nice at the end of the day to be like, I know what I'm watching tonight.
Yes.
And there's a reason I'm watching it, and I'm either going to enjoy it or not enjoy it, but I'm going to be able to get out how I feel about it on the next episode.
But do you and Logan have to, do you have to agree on it? Because that's where I'm kind of, I have to say, having a little trouble.
I'm at the advantage here because Logan is super into helping us with this.
Yeah.
And so he's willing to be the guinea pig and to try all of these new shows.
You're lucky your husband's the producer, and he's also super into pop culture. My husband is only into what he's into. Trying to get him to watch certain shows has been a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
He wants to watch what he wants to watch. I get in bed every night, and it's whatever show he's into right then is on, and it's always the same thing, or it's one of his shows that he doesn't watch with me, so I'm not at the beginning. He's in season 8 of Suits or something, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, we have those that Logan is very into. Currently, it is the new John Cena Peacemaker.
Oh,
which I have to say, I watched the first episode. It's hilarious, and I will definitely watch it more. But it's a Logan show.
So it's a TV show with John Cena in it.
Yes,
why did I
highly adult.
Oh, I'm excited,
not watch
but he's so brilliant. I mean, John Cena is one of those guests on SNL, or so you see he's got comedy, he's got timing, he's good.
Oh, he's fabulous in this role.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
Hysterical, but definitely grown up. It's basically what happens after the Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
So if you like superhero movies and that kind of thing, you'll really like it. It's cute. Right. And then Secession, which I know we'll get into with our guest in a little bit.
Is it Secession or Succession? Succession.
How do you say it?
I don't know.
Am I saying it wrong? You always catch me with these.
I say it differently. No, I'm wondering because I don't think I say it differently every time. Secession? Is that how you said it originally?
It's not secession. Succession.
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 Succession. Like success. Right? Succession.
No, but it's the people who come next. You seceded, right?
Oh, is it secession? You secede.
Yeah.
Oh,
the person who comes next.
Or success?
No.
I don't know.
It's who comes next.
Oh, maybe you're right. So Mark and I have this problem with words sometimes, him being from the South and me being from New York and my kind of sometimes harsh New York accent that comes out. I'll say things like, I call it a red light. He calls it a red light.
Oh,
I call
it's
it
definitely red light.
Thanksgiving. He calls it Thanksgiving. I mean, he says he will hit the consonant on every word. I'll try to think of one, but oh my gosh, he will. It's so funny. Oh, athlete. He says athlete. He doesn't quite. It's not that harsh, but you hear that extra e in there before the L, athlete.
I say athlete.
But you kind of don't catch it unless you're his wife being super annoyed by how he's chewing and that kind of thing. So I notice it.
I always notice how people say the word crayon.
Crayon. In New York, a good one is water or drawer. A drawer.
I'm sorry. Wait.
If you have to go get my pants out of the drawer. You pull the drawer. The drawer.
Oh, our
Like a drawer?
assistant Jen, actually earlier I caught her on a phone call with her mother and she said Chester drawers.
Chest of drawers.
And I was like,
drawers.
wait, did you just say Chester drawers?
Or water. I think I
And she
give
was
me
like-
a cup of water.
She's like, I grew up in Alabama. Give me a break. And I was like, I did too. And I know it's chest of drawers.
I've caught my in-laws before saying cement, and here comes the ambulance with a siren, and I'm like, siren? It's a siren? Even they were like, "Ooh, did I say that?" But I still say Santa Claus or paranoid. My kids always make fun of the way I say embarrassed. Oh, are we embarrassing you, Mom? Like, yeah.
Oh, my favorite thing about New York accents is the R at the end of things.
Yeah.
My husband's grandfather was from New York and he had just the strongest accent and it was always the R at the end of everything.
That's like the water.
Yes.
You know what's funny is like if someone doesn't really know a New York accent, especially like a Bronx accent, like my stepdad's from the Bronx, like a thick New York accent, if you don't know it's New York, if you don't like instinctively know it's New York, you think it's British. It's very strange. People are always like, is he British? I'm like, no. Sounds like Trump. He is not British.
Oh, speaking of New Yorkers, our guest today.
Our guest today is from New York. All right, I'm so excited about having her on.
I am too. I'm telling you, this podcast is just making all of my
little girl dreams.
girl dreams come true.
You know, it's funny. I've always loved her as an actress, and I don't even know how we're going to talk to her today because there's like an hour of stuff I want to ask her about her life, but then there's like she sent us a list of things she's into, and I mean. The list is extensive.
We have so
She's into a lot of stuff.
to
So we
talk
have
about.
so much to talk about.
And she does so much.
She does so much. She's so involved in so many different areas that I don't want to miss any of them. But here, let's give a little introduction. You guys, we have today with us, we're going to have Kimberly Williams-Paisley on in a second. She was born in Rye, New York, so I'm crazy about her already because New York. She's been one of my friends since I moved here as well, so we've been having some fun together. She was in the business. She's been in since she was 13 years old.
Wow.
In 1989, already honing her skills for the future, she directed the Rye High School Musical Review. She left Northwestern University during her sophomore year to appear in the 1991 film Father of the Bride,
That was a great call.
for which she did a sequel and was nominated for many awards. And by the way, I read in her book that it's because of Father of the Bride that she met her magical husband, Brad.
Hopefully she'll tell us about that.
I'm so in love with their love story. So she returned to Northwestern and completed her degree in drama. She's also guest starred in tons of great TV shows like Nashville, but she also starred in the ABC drama Relativity, which I think I remember that one.
I do too.
But is best known for her show According to Jim. She starred in movies like Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Trip. I remember that.
Yes.
And most recently, the Netflix hit movies Christmas Chronicles and Christmas Chronicles 2.
So good.
So exciting. I mean, she got to play husband and wife with Oliver Hudson, who was like secret crush
cutest.
for me. Like I go gaga when he's around. We'll have to ask her about him. She wrote a powerful book in 2016 that I have been listening to the audiobook, and it's really captured me, about her mother's struggles with a rare form of dementia. She lost her mom shortly afterwards. I can't even imagine how hard that was. She works diligently with hospitals like Vanderbilt on research and fundraising. She has 2 boys with country music legend Brad. You guys know who Brad Paisley is, of course. And they just have the most beautiful love story. I can't wait to get into it. They also just had a ballroom named after them at Belmont University, where Brad is an alumni. They started a free grocery store for families who couldn't make ends meet called The Store near the Belmont campus. And she is a very philanthropic, there's another hard word, philanthropic person on like so many levels.
So generous.
And she's just so she's so ambitious. She goes after whatever she wants. I feel like she and I have a lot in common. And her Instagram is nothing short of hilarious.
so entertaining.
So funny. Her friend Susan, who I think was on Sabrina, played Cinderella on Sabrina. Susan is in all these, I found Susan's Instagram because of her, and Susan has the most beautiful, funny, and she and Kim and her sister Ashley.
Her sister, yes. I love when they're together.
I love when they're together. They do so many videos together. You can tell there's like best friends and sisters. It's so cute. And they do these videos, and Ashley, I'm a huge fan of. I did not know they were related.
I did not either.
Big fan of How I Met Your Mother, I've mentioned many times. And Ashley was a big part of How I Met Your
Yes.
Mother. I mean, for a while there, I thought she was going to be the mother. Anyway, we cannot wait to see or hear what this powerhouse writer, director, supermom is digging into these days. So let's bring in Kimberly.
Yay!
Amanda, do you know what I love?
What do you love?
I love crazy socks.
I too love crazy socks.
But I also love like really comfy clothes. And do you know what? Stance, like my favorite sock company, Stance is now making super comfy clothes.
I am aware, and you have on a pair today.
I do. I am wearing a pair. They're super cute.
They are the best.
They're
sweatpants.
Beautiful colors. And I just love the sockies too. I got like fuzzy socks and I got the cute socks and I got pretty socks. And I love at Christmas time, like the elf socks, or like Mason always gets the office socks. Like I find
They're so
every
fun.
kind I can get for the office, right? Because everyone loves the office.
I've been wearing their athletic socks recently to work out. Such a difference.
Game changer.
Yes.
They help you just feel more confident. And then when you take your shoes off, they're so colorful and fun.
But now the sweatpants, they're also my favorite. Hang out in the house, go out with my friends, wear them anywhere sweatpants.
Yeah, because they're not just socks anymore. Stance is bringing color, comfort, creativity from toe to head with the launch of their new active apparel line. That's right. What started out as a radical reinvention of your sock drawer is now expanding into your entire wardrobe. So you can check out their super soft line of sweatpants, joggers, shirts, hoodies, hats, and tons of stuff. Now available in a full range of fits, prints, fabrics, and fun.
Stance's philosophy is that you should never have to sacrifice your own individual style for the sake of comfort. And now you don't have to. Whether you're relaxing around the house, working out at the gym, or running all over town, Stance now delivers its signature softness and creativity in a full line of active apparel styles from toe to head.
Stance has got you covered. Head on over to stance.com and get 15% off your first purchase. Use promo code BINGE, that's BINGE, at checkout to apply. Embrace a life of superior comfort and creative expression with everyday active apparel that is truly stitched different. Thank you, Stance, for sponsoring What Women Binge and making us look so cool on our podcast. All right. Well, welcome.
Thank
to What Women
you.
Binge. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's good to see you guys.
So excited to have another Nashville native. No, wait, we have to ask you.
I'm not a native.
No,
but
Nashville, sorry.
transplant.
Neighbor?
Yes,
Yeah,
Nashville
there
neighbor.
you go. Actually, I love that you and I are both from New York. We actually have really
know.
similar
We
sort of
do have
paths.
similar stories.
Yeah, we've both been on a few TV shows, married musicians. Yours obviously is a little better known than mine.
For different things.
For different things.
Different things. They're both
But
very
we're
successful.
boy moms. We have boys only. This one's got twin girls too, so she's
Oh, wow.
walking a whole different.
It's something.
Yeah.
No, they're magical, actually.
How old are they?
6. And then I have a 9-year-old boy.
Oh,
Oh, it's a fun life.
that's awesome.
Cannot complain.
So I have to ask you a question. So Christmas Chronicles.
Yes.
Just real quick. Oliver Hudson.
Yes.
Did you guys do a lot of scenes together? I know he's in a lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff was flashback. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I did stuff without him too, but
So I have a weird story about Ollie.
do tell.
I just like on the party scene in LA in my early 20s, there was something about that man, boy at the time, that would walk
He's
into
probably
a club.
still a boy.
He is, right? Yeah, if you follow his Instagram, he definitely is. He would walk into the club and I would just, it's weird. It was like my jaw wouldn't work. I couldn't talk to him.
Really?
I couldn't talk. Unexplainable. I think I one time asked him to be my boyfriend or something totally ridiculous because I just literally my brain would go to mush and my mouth would just. Hi, Ollie. Are you gonna? Do you want to make out or like? I don't know what I
Love
said.
me?
I was like,
Love me?
I would,
Never made out.
no. He was he probably looked at me and was like, what? Can you back away, crazy lady? Because I literally, it's probably the only time I ever got really like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to behave.
He's so sweet and silly, like really goofy, silly humor, and just kind. He's a great guy. I get it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I just
saying.
like,
He's pretty dreamy.
Yeah.
he is.
I don't know him.
But it's,
No,
I don't know if maybe I felt like I couldn't keep up with his comedy or his wit but it's like the only time that a guy ever sort of like sideswiped me and like where I walk away and be like, what an idiot I am. But you got to work with him as your husband.
I did. Yeah.
So we know each other strangely through a hairdresser in LA.
Right. Who we love, Roxy.
We love. She does great hair. Great hair.
She's amazing. She did my hair for so many years on According to Jim. And what show did you guys meet on?
We didn't actually. Funny enough, she did my color while I was living in LA the last few years because she has a salon really close by, and she was doing Last Man Standing with some friends of mine.
Okay.
So I love that she did Last Man. Like she's got everybody in her pocket. Like she is just the girl who knows. And the hairstylists are always therapists, so they just
Yeah.
know everything about us, right?
Yeah.
But she put us together,
And then we hooked up in Nashville, and then you came to me and said, how would you like to go back to school with me?
and we became college students.
We were college students, and I have to thank you for that because I don't think I ever would have thought to do that, and I'm so glad I did.
It was so fun. But what's crazy is you have the connections Belmont University is where your husband was an alumni, right?
Yeah.
So you have like the connections over there, and then like somehow I met the professor and was like,
Right.
I want to do a screenwriting class. Do you want to do it with me?
Yeah.
And we did this great screenwriting.
Yeah,
We both.
Professor Will Akers. He's
Will Akers
great.
is awesome. He has a
Helped
great book.
so much.
Screen, Your screenplay sucks, right?
Thank you.
It's a great. Yes, I'm not saying that to you, Kim.
That's the name
That
of
is the name of the book. Will Akers wrote a book called And
And it was really fun. It was like
It
a
was.
class of like how many? 6 kids.
there were 4, and then us 2 adults.
We're kids. We're part of the 6 kids.
Did you feel like a kid walking around the campus? Just
I
curious.
did. I had my backpack on. I think I felt like more of a kid than they thought I looked like a kid.
Well, we were also wearing masks, so I did
Yeah.
feel like maybe I blended in a little bit. I'm so short. You're tiny
sure
too.
We did. I'm sure we did.
I kept wondering if
really
people thought we were
liked it.
kids or professors. Like, I want to know what other people's.
I mean, in reality, they
Do you
probably
really
thought,
want to know? I don't
Yeah, I don't think we want to know.
But I felt like, I did feel like I was back at school, like I wasn't cool enough, like, but it was weird because like I felt the pressure to dress a certain way, but also kind of relaxed, which I'm not really good at kind of being a relaxed, casual, cool, current, trendy person.
Yeah.
So I felt a lot of pressure, and half the time I'd show up at school and be like, the hell am I wearing?
Wait, everybody else is in shorts and t-shirts, and I'm dressed.
They're rolling out of bed in their pajamas.
I know.
forgot, like,
that was
college-
my college attire. It was like
Yeah.
sweatpants, and I never cared about what I wore.
That's true. Oh, speaking of what you wear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
We got to give you some fuzzy socks. we have a
fuzzy socks.
whole basket of fuzzy socks. I'm wearing some llama ones. I found
Thank you.
today.
I like this
Look at
theme.
this whole, right? So we like to be comfy and cozy here.
Some of these are recycled.
Those are ones
Just
that I
those.
usually wear those. So
Gee, thanks.
sorry. That's why I warned you. I warned
I'm
you.
gonna go for rainbow.
Oh, those
Rainbow's
are so
I
cute.
like rainbow. Okay. Thank you.
Awkward giant basket.
I know.
It's getting so full of socks. We have so
Well,
many
it's
socks.
because we all think it's getting low.
Do I get to keep them?
You keep them.
yours. Our gift to you.
Parting gifts.
Yeah. See, look, you still have girly. See, I feel like I can't pick girly things because I have boys.
You couldn't have planned
They're
this
really
better.
cute.
Good. That's good. I'm feeling it. All right.
Colors.
Good. So,
All right, what can we
Anyway.
talk about? All right,
can we
we
talk-
have to talk
everything.
about your list of credits. Like, I'm so afraid we're not going to get to the stuff that you like because you have such a list of credits, but we have to talk about a few things. According to Jim.
yes.
So many people, of course, know and love you from According to Jim. What was your experience like there?
I was on that show for 7 of the 8 years. And when at the end of year 7, I had my son, Huck, and moved to Nashville. But I loved being in front of an audience. I loved that comedy stuff. I think I learned a whole lot about comedy from doing
that
that
your first
show.
Like in front of an audience sitcom?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's intimidating, huh? Did it take you a while to calm down?
It was weird because I trained in theater.
Yeah.
And then I went to film. And so learning that it's kind of a mix between the two and that you have to play to the camera, but you're also waiting for laughs from the audience.
Yeah, you're
and
pulling
stuff.
from them, and are you giving too much to try? Yeah, I did the same thing because I started in Broadway and then doing my first two TV shows. Even though they were sitcoms, they weren't in front of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my third show, Melissa and Joey, that was in front of an audience, and it took me probably a season and a half
Yeah.
to calm down and understand that I wasn't going to die in front of
Right.
the audience. That it was okay.
Yeah, and you don't have to be broad like you are on stage, you know,
Yeah.
because like on stage you really have to play to the back row.
Project and all that.
But
yeah.
on TV, you don't want to do that because then it's going to be pushing. So yeah, it took me some time to figure it out as well.
Yeah, I always felt like I did a pilot once for Fox, and there was just this crazy energy I was already bringing to the rehearsal and the character and what it was already calling for. And then the night we had the audience, I lost it, and I went to the director and I think I shook him, and I was like, I can't calm down.
Really?
And I just couldn't. And I was like, I know I'm blowing this pilot right now because I can't. This energy has nowhere else to go. Like it's just coming out, like oozing out of me. I can't control it.
Yeah.
And it's just a crazy
Well,
thing.
pilots are so hard anyway because everyone's panicked. Everyone, it's do or die. It's like if this one night doesn't go well,
Yeah.
the next 7 or 8 years of your life, are not going to be the same.
It's so dependent. It's so
Yeah.
weird. And it's that one episode. And the crazy thing about it too is it's like you have to lay all the pipe. Like you think about Friends, you have to know who all 6 of those characters are in that first episode, plus make it funny, plus make it, enjoyable and relaxed
Real,
and chill.
yeah.
But you're laying so much pipe or exposition or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. Like, there's so much to get out, that Ross is a, dinosaur nerd, and that
Right.
Lisa Kudrow is a little kooky, tree hugger, and that, you have to like get all these characters out on top of the main storylines. And so, pilots can be really tricky. And
I was so grateful for our writers, though. I mean, how much fun is it to have a bunch of funny writers who are just like magicians, and they just like would circle up after a take that worked. It was fine, but then they were like, can we beat it? So they'd circle up and they'd come up with these lines, and then they'd just run over. They'd give me the line like once, all right, just this time say this. And then they'd run away, and they make me look amazing,
you come up with this great joke.
The audience thinks, oh, did she just come up with that on the spot? And like those moments were the ones that were just so much fun. When we were laughing so hard, it was like the hardest thing not to laugh, in the middle of a take. Like that's when I really loved it.
Oh, that's great. So you had a good time for 7 years. You got to enjoy that. But so the last year when you moved to Nashville, you didn't go back to the show. That's
I didn't.
when you.
No,
okay.
I left, and I moved to Nashville. But I mean, we've still like gone back and forth, and I've stayed, active in LA. But I just left that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I've been trying to get away from LA my whole life. I feel like
Really,
I was out there for 15 years, and then went to Connecticut for 12.
Both of us
and now
lived
here.
there for 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I do love LA. I really do. I also love Tennessee.
Yeah. I love. I don't know if you're the same, but like wherever I go, I'm always looking at houses. I'm like, ooh, maybe I could live here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a habit. I'm nosy. I love looking at what's going on around me, other, real estate listings. In every city, I'm like, oh, I could live here, or no, this is a no.
Yeah.
Are you from here?
I grew up in Alabama.
Oh,
I
in
moved
Alabama.
here
Okay.
a long time ago. This is home now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She's been here for a while.
And how do you guys know each other?
So our kids go to school together.
Okay.
We met at school last year.
Oh, okay.
She showed up at my house for a play date.
Yeah.
The rest
And then
is
I was
history.
like, oh, she could be my friend.
Let's do a podcast.
Let's do a podcast.
We
You wanna
started
talk about
walking
stuff?
together every morning, and
Yeah, we would do we did that long walk. It was 6 miles a morning. Yeah, and we would be like chatty, and we just couldn't like separate. And then we'd stand at the car and talk for another hour, and we were like, this should be a show.
Mm-hmm.
we could do something with
Couldn't
this.
get enough. Yeah, couldn't get enough. But all right, Father of the Bride.
Yeah.
We have to get into that because we know.
have to get into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing story too about how you kind of went to the audition like unexpecting, like just sort of like, sure, I'll do it. Sounds like a fun afternoon. Like I'll just go do this thing. So and then to work with some of the most amazing. Like I'm just so jealous you got to work with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
There's still time.
Yeah.
There's still time for you.
Yeah.
But I want to hear about your experience.
Yes.
I don't know the story about the audition.
Well, I was a sophomore at Northwestern, and I was just like, as Melissa said, I was just trying to figure out how to use the L train to go into Chicago. I had this audition that a friend of mine who was interning at a casting office, she told me, Abby Epstein. Do you know who Abby
Oh
Epstein
my gosh,
is?
I do.
Yeah. So who did Business of Being Born, and like,
Yes.
she's like
I
a
was in
huge
that with her.
documentary.
Yeah, I did a little
filmmaker.
bit of-
Yeah, me too.
I did one or two of hers.
Did you do the second one about?
I think I did the second
Yeah,
one.
me
yeah,
too.
Business of Being Born. Was it the second?
No, it was more Business of Being Born.
Oh, maybe that was the one. I
Yeah,
did.
but anyway, so Abby and I have been friends for years. But so we were friends in college, and she came to me and she said, "I'm interning. There's this part. It's a bride. Blah blah blah." And I was like, "That's the furthest."
And you're
thing
19.
in my mind.
right?
Yeah,
You're like in college, 19, not thinking about getting married.
Not thinking about getting married. So I knew I was totally wrong for it, but I wanted to figure out if I could navigate the L, because in New York I knew how to do the subways,
Yeah.
but I hadn't taken the L yet, and I was like, I
Yeah.
really need to figure this out. Today's the day. and so I think I was like really relaxed for the audition. And
That makes such a difference.
yeah, and then they said, okay, no thank you. We don't want you for the part. And then they called, and as Hollywood does, they're like, well, all right, fly out and audition with Steve Martin. I was like, one day I'm going to be able to tell my kids I auditioned with Steve Martin.
And he gave you a compliment.
Did he?
He said at the end of the audition, he said something like,
Oh, yeah.
that was really great given the pressure around you too or
Yeah,
something.
that it was natural or something. And then they're like, thank you. We're not going to cast you. And I was like, all right, fine. This is like taking up so much of my time, but that was cool. I went back to school, and then like a couple weeks passed, and they called again. They're like, we want you to fly out again. And I literally said to my agent, I'm quitting the business.
It's always when you quit that you get the big job.
Exactly. I said, I'm going to become a journalist now because I love to write. And she convinced me to go back out.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And there
It's
you
a great
are.
thing that she did.
Next thing you know.
Yes.
Life-changing moment.
And then
Yes.
I did not know this until I read your book. What's the book called again?
Where the Light Gets In.
Where the Light Gets In. I've been listening to your audiobook, so I feel like you've been in the car with me for the last
Yeah.
week. I did not know your love story. So
Yeah.
Father of the Bride leads you to
Yeah.
being a bride.
Yeah.
Which is so insane.
weird.
It's such a
so
beautiful.
perfect.
It's so. I ran in this morning. I was like, you have to hear how Kim met Brad. Like I had no idea. I'm sure
It was-
your fans at home know this story, but I was like, you like said a prayer and wrote it on a piece of
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
And he opened his eyes that morning and thought, wait, you have to. You
It's
tell it. You tell it.
Well, basically, so 9/11 happened, and I was, as everyone was, just like totally shell-shocked, devastated at everything. It was world-changing, life-changing.
And your family's in New York, so
My family's in New York. My mom worked downtown. You know, everyone was fine, thank God. But so I did. I was like, I am done with being single. I'm ready to meet my person, and just like let's just move on. And like I want to settle down. I want to just like have a nice, calm life, And so I wrote down a prayer on a piece of paper. And started praying specifically for my partner that I knew I was going to meet, not knowing who it was, but like literally like specifically like with my whole body, I would just think about him and, just pray that he was having a good day and that he was getting the work done that he needed to get done.
I know. It's so amazing.
Keep going. Sorry. Because I know where this is going, but.
So, yeah. And it was just like a very specific intention prayer, for this person that I knew was out there with total faith, And then, he was on his tour bus and it was really like 3 or 4 weeks later. It didn't take very long. On November 1st, he woke up because it was 9/11. So maybe 6 weeks. So he woke up and he was thinking about me for some reason. And now he had gone on a date with his girlfriend in high school to see Father of the Bride. Father of the Bride was their movie. So much for being my movie. It's not my movie. It's their movie. And then she broke his heart and he went on to move to Nashville and write some great songs, but he never like thought about me. It was all about this girl, and he tried to get back together with her when the sequel came out, and
he went to the movie by himself.
He actually went to the movie thinking like it was the same date as their first date, and if she's thinking the same thing, and if she's feeling romantic like he is, she'll be there at the sequel too,
so
and then they can have a sequel together.
For like a kismet, that he's looking for that. He's looking for like that miracle to happen, but it happens in a totally different, unexpected way. The way God, like
you have to do it.
Oh my gosh, it'd be a great like Hallmark Lifetime like love story movie.
No one would believe it
ever.
They wouldn't believe it.
This is your life. I can't believe.
We call them like Kate and Bill. And Kim and Brad, and we're gonna write. That's the next script we write.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Okay, keep going.
So anyway, so he goes to the movie. She's not there, and then he goes and moves to Nashville and starts writing these great songs, including a song called Part 2, which was about him going to see the sequel. And he literally he
writes a movie about his bride without even knowing it's his bride.
Yeah, and in the artwork for the album, he has the ticket stub from Part 2, which, by the way, he bought 2 ticket stubs because he went to the 7, and then she wasn't there. He left, and then in the parking lot, he was like, "What if it's the 9?
Oh no!
What if we saw the 9?
Oh
like he couldn't remember." So he turned around, went back, bought another ticket.
He is a romantic. Wow.
Anyway, and then,
that's a good thing for you.
Stalker. Like,
well, I feel a little bit like a stalker because I know all these things about you now. But
but it's understandable if you're listening to the book because I did put all of that in the book. But anyway, so then 7 years later, he's on his tour bus. He's got a career, and he wakes up and he's been thinking about me, which he swears he never did before. I don't know if that's true or not, but he says I got to get in touch with that girl from that movie. So he that morning calls his friend.
Can you imagine?
I know.
Calls his friend Peter Tilden and says, have you ever, because Peter was in, do you know who Peter Tilden is? He was a showrunner and a DJ in LA. Great guy, writer, funny, very funny guy. So Brad and Peter were friends, and he said, "Do you know Kim?" And Peter said, "Actually, I just met Kim in Vegas for this thing for According to Jim, ABC thing. And so he hooked us up. And by the end of the day, so my manager calls me and she says, I just talked to the cutest guy. He's got a Southern accent. You're going to love him. You're totally going to date him. And I was like, well, why is he calling? And she said, he wants to know if you want to be in a music video, but you're totally going to date him. And I had just said to her that I wanted to do a music video. So it was all these things where I was like, all right, I'll call him back.
Oh, if this wasn't meant to be, I don't know what.
Right.
Like,
this was
honestly.
fate.
And now it's been how many years you guys been married?
Almost 19 in March.
And your wedding, though, you also talk about in your book, your wedding, that you intentionally had a small wedding because of a very small, intimate, kind of secret wedding.
Yeah.
Because of the pressure that would have been on you, because of kind of who he is, but also especially because of where your career started.
Yeah, I didn't want people
known.
to come to my wedding and say, the movie was better.
Oh, gee.
You know? It was like, the movie was way more entertaining. Like, I just didn't want to put that on the table. So,
And it had been so many years since you'd done the movie.
Yeah.
I was doing the last season of Sabrina, I was engaged, and for some reason Sabrina was engaged too, which is totally coincidental. Yeah. But I had to wear so many wedding dresses that season that by the time it came around to my wedding, I had been in so many wedding dresses. I had done that thing so many times.
Too.
I wouldn't do my own rehearsal.
Yeah.
And your rehearsal became your actual wedding, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do the rehearsal. I made my friend did it with my sister's boyfriend. We were like, I'm not walking through the wedding before I actually get married because I've done that too many times on camera.
Yes.
I want it to feel real when it actually happens.
Totally. That's so funny. Yeah. So I went down the aisle in a denim coat, because no one knew it was the actual wedding. It was the rehearsal. You know, all my friends were like, why do we have to come to this rehearsal? Yeah.
Pepperdine's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was so beautiful with that stained glass wall there. And I had my ribbon bouquet from my shower. And then at the altar, I took my coat off and I had the dress on, and they exchanged it for the flowers.
And they were like, surprise, we're getting married.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Isn't that cute? That's like such an Amanda.
It's a great way
Amanda
to do it.
That's something I would totally do.
Yeah, and then the next day we had a bigger party, so everyone came. We renewed the vows already. Like the next day we renewed them again, and then just had a party and had like an In-N-Out truck and softball.
Except that they don't do French
dancing.
fries. Why does In-N-Out truck not do French fries?
They didn't. You know what? I didn't eat a thing at my wedding because I was so busy.
Yeah, you can't.
Running around.
Whenever I'm at a wedding, I'm always trying to make the bride eat. I'm like, please sit down and eat. Please sit down. Because you never eat.
No.
See, this is why you get married at Disney World. Like I did, which is funny because the place where you plan your wedding at Disney is called Franck's because of Father of the Bride.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Hilarious.
That is so funny.
Coincidental.
It is a Disney?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was a Disney
Oh
movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
so if you go in to plan a Disney wedding, you're in Franck's office.
You didn't know that?
No, I forgot that.
Okay.
It was Touchstone, but yeah, it's Disney.
Is that now? This is the movie where they call the cake the cock, right? Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure.
It was pronounced keck.
Keck. I always want to say it to my kids, and I'm like, I can't.
Nope,
I
not yet.
remember Nancy, like Marty did do a couple takes where he's like, the cock, the size of the cock determines what kind of wedding you end up having. She'd be like, let's say keck.
Keck.
But at Disney, like they make sure that you have time planned for your meal together before you join your guests.
That's really great. That's a smart idea. Because nobody eats, and then you get dizzy, and then you're drinking too much, and then you're tired, and then weddings can be a lot.
We did do one thing that I love that I think they do in Jewish ceremonies, where when we were done, we went up to the balcony and we just sat just the two of us for a moment, because so many times you get married and then you go right into the
and you don't
party
spend
and
any
you never
time
even
together.
see your spouse.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I remember that we went up to the balcony and we just like sat there and we were like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. We're married. And then we heard this incredible music and we stood up and looked over and everyone was just like dancing and like holding their arms up in the church, and it was like a revival.
At you, like for you, or
well, they
just,
started doing it just together. I think they were doing like "Oh Happy Day" or when it was so beautiful.
just a moment that
and then they noticed us, and then they all started. So I have these pictures of like all of the people, all of our guests, just looking up at us, and we're looking down at them.
I want to get married
really
again just
cool.
to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you should totally get married.
I don't think I have any
Tomorrow.
pictures of my guests.
You should stay married
Like I feel like there's
Really?
there's like a million. Well, we're gonna have our 20th in like a year.
What are you going to do for your 20th? We're
2 years? I don't
have
even
a
know.
wedding.
No, next year.
we're almost.
Yeah, I think we're about the same
time frame. Yeah,
I was 2003.
Yeah, us
Same.
too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like I need to do something for my 20th. Our 10th, we took the kids. No, it wasn't our 10th. Our 10th, we went into New York City. We went to the Boathouse, which was another place I wanted to have my wedding. So I was like, well, for my 10th, let's just go to the Boathouse. But then for our 15th, we took our kids back. We got married in Italy, so we took our kids back to Italy to see it. But
that's
they didn't
great.
appreciate it quite like I thought.
Yeah.
In that way, I kind of wish I had girls because I feel like maybe they would care more about mommy's wedding. The boys just don't seem to care much about my wedding. Do yours?
Well, for our 12th, we took the kids to Pepperdine and we showed them. They didn't care that much about where we got married. And then we renewed our vows because at 12 years, because when I was engaged, I don't know if you got to this part in the book, but my parents weren't thrilled about it.
Oh.
It was awkward. It was actually, I think part of it was my mom's dementia kicking in. And she was just like, it was partly that. It was partly that like they were from New York. He was like a Southern country guy, and I was the oldest and the first to get engaged, and so it was a combination of things.
Because there's 8 years between you and Ashley, or 6?
Seven,
Okay.
yeah. So it's something we laugh about now. But at the time, my dad was like, he started talking to me one day about like successful couples, and he was telling me about like what makes a marriage a happy marriage, and like these studies that are done. He's like, so in the study, the people that were happily married have been married for 12 years, blah 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 blah. And the only thing I took from it was, so all we have to do to have a successful marriage is be married for 12 years.
Make it to 12 years.
Just make it to 12, and then we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And so we always had this joke through the first 12 years of like, just like 2 more to go.
Oh my
12,
gosh. So you renewed
So
at 12.
at 12 we renewed.
My husband won't renew. He thinks he's like, we did it once, we're done.
We used to do it every year.
We kind of did it
Well, you did?
as a joke. I mean, Brad was like, we made it a funny wedding. So my friend Susan is amazing. She went to Hollywood Boulevard.
We talked
and
about
got,
her in the intro, by the way.
Oh, you did?
She's so
What does she
funny.
go? What's her last name? What does she go
Susan
by?
Yeagley.
And she is, oh my gosh.
She's
so-
hilarious.
her
and
Instagram is
gorgeous.
gorgeous and
Yes,
beautiful and funny.
yes.
But anyway, I'm sorry. So
Totally.
Susan-
Her husband, Kevin Nealon, takes all those pictures.
Oh, and
There are
he's
a
just
lot
got
of
such
them.
an eye. He's
amazing.
also an artist, right? Doesn't he draw?
Yes, he's incredible.
I gotta
So
get
Susan
one of
went
his
to
pieces.
Susan went to Hollywood Boulevard, and she got a bunch of wedding dresses, like third hand or whatever. And we all like, I had friends there, a couple friends, and it was like this surprise wedding where we all just like threw on the dresses, and I walked down the aisle, like you could see my bra through my wedding dress, like barely fit. And the kids loved that; they were a part of the ceremony, and that
that's
was
fun.
really fun. But it was very silly.
I know. I tried to do something on a beach once. We were at a resort, and they had this like, call the concierge if you want to get married. And I was like, hey, we're all here. Let's call the concierge. They give you flowers and they get a photographer and you renew your vows. The kids will be there. It's just us.
Yeah.
I was like, let's do that. I said, here's the thing. I brought a white dress with me. It was our anniversary at the time, or I wouldn't have just like thought of that. But like I had a white dress packed for our anniversary dinner. And I was like, I brought a dress that I could wear. So, if you want to, dial 0 and talk to the concierge about like setting that up, it's only a couple $100 and we could just have a little wedding ceremony on the beach. I'll leave that to you. Never leave anything to him.
Oh no.
Oh no, it did not happen.
It didn't happen.
Bummer.
No, he's not. He's like, he's so, it's so funny. Mark is so in and out of like romance. Like sometimes he's all in. Like one year for Valentine's Day, I got like 17 presents, the nicest card. Next year, nothing.
Yeah.
Not even a card. I was like, a pack of gum, something?
Yeah.
Nothing? Like you can't do all or nothing. Like let's just find a common ground here. Is it going to be candy? Is it going to be, something?
Let's go
I think
medium.
Brad's the same way. He's sometimes very romantic, and then sometimes he's just like
Gone.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's ADD.
it's
or
an
something.
artist. Yeah, or an artist
Artist
creative
thing.
thing.
Yeah. They're either hyper focused or they're like,
Yeah.
Logan's pretty good with the romance. Once we got married here in town, renewed our vows in town. They have this little chapel on Music Row. I don't know if it's still there or not, but Elvis would marry you.
Oh.
So we did that.
Oh, that's fun.
That was really fun. And then the rest of the times it was mostly just like in our living room. He'd be like, "Hey, it's our anniversary. You want to say our vows again?"
That is so cute.
The same vows?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. I don't even know what
Because
my
he
vows
swears
were.
up and down we
You
didn't
don't-
actually say our vows,
Oh,
which we totally did, but he does not remember saying our vows.
I actually
in our
don't remember saying vows either. Now that you say
So
that,
you don't ever need to amend them? Because I might amend mine now. Like,
like things like I hope you won't leave a wet towel on the bed, and
Right.
I won't
I'm
leave
really-
food in the toaster oven.
Right.
Really over our master bedroom looking like an attic.
I promise to do the dishes more often. Like we might have put those
Yeah,
in.
I promise I'll help take out the trash sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some of those.
That
See,
was
that's
good.
my stepdad always said, like your whole thing about the 12 years, I don't know, it reminded me, my stepdad always saying, well, eventually the honeymoon's over and somebody's got to take out the garbage. And I'm like, all right, so who's going to take out the garbage? Like, taking out the garbage is a big, like, in our family, it's like, whoever takes out the garbage is like winning the wedding, the marriage debate.
Oh,
like,
okay.
as long as you're not fighting about taking out the garbage, like there's going to be fights based on stupid stuff, I guess, basically is what it is, right? Amanda, do you like the spoon?
The spoon?
Do you like two spoon?
I do like two spoon, but
Do you like the magic spoon?
Well, I love the magic spoon.
The magic spoon, growing up for me, I was one of 5 kids and mom didn't have time to make like a big fancy breakfast, but everybody's got to eat. So she would pour 5 bowls of cereal. She'd take a bite out of each one. That was her breakfast. That was our breakfast. Cereal was a big part of my childhood. But as I grew up, couldn't eat that much sugar. You know, I've got to watch out for carbs, things like that.
Well, good thing, because Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving.
That's perfect. And only 140 calories a serving. And it's keto friendly,
Gluten-free.
That's what you are. Grain-free, soy-free, and low carb. That's me.
Yeah, and there's a variety pack, so you can try 4 different flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter.
And you're a big fan of the peanut butter.
And the chocolate mixed together.
But I haven't done the peanut butter yet, but I got to try that. But I think I'm going to try next. I like the frosted, but I think I'm going to mix the fruity with the frosted. Maybe do a little bit of both.
Action.
Yeah, my kids like to do that. They like to mix the two. So listen, all you have to do is go to magicspoon.com/WWB to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code WWB at checkout to save $5 off your order.
And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked.
No questions. It's awesome. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/WWB and use the code WWB to save $5 off.
Thanks, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring What Women Binge. If you love trivia like we do, then you're going to love Trivia Star.
Trivia Star.
Do you want to play real quick?
Yeah, let's play.
Okay. Which actor starred in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Will Smith, Morgan Freeman, Jack Nicholson, or Gordon Ramsay?
That was Will Smith.
Yes, you're correct.
Trivia Star is a free mobile trivia game with over 60 different categories that you get to choose from. So you can choose music, TV, animals, celebrities. What was that category we just did?
Pop culture.
Pop culture. So you get to choose, and if you get the correct answer for multiple choice, you beat the clock, you move on to the next level, and it gets harder and harder over time.
Right now, Trivia Star is offering you 2,500 coins and 500 gems when you download and play.
Yeah, that's 2,500 coins and 500 gems. So all you have to do is go to the Apple or Google store and search for Trivia Star, download Trivia Star for free today, and get ready to flex your brain muscles.
Trivia Star is the #1 trivia game on the App Store and has thousands of 5-star reviews in the Apple Store. Download it today and challenge yourself.
Thank you, Trivia Star, for sponsoring What Women Binge. I want to hear what you're into. You're a big reader, aren't you?
I like to read. Yeah.
I noticed you have quite a few books on your list of things that you've read or wanted to read or haven't finished reading.
So I just read my friend Ann Patchett's book, These Precious Days, which just came out, which is amazing. And then I have another friend, Mary Laura Philpott, who has a book called Bomb Shelter. And she gave me an advanced reader copy. It's so good.
But it's not out yet?
It's coming out in April.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's called Bomb Shelter.
People can probably go and
you can pre-order it.
Which is big, really big for book sales, right?
It's huge and so helpful for an author.
Yeah, it means like it'll help them like make sure they print enough and that they're out in the stores. So that's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I love reading. And are you a big reader too?
I try to be. I want to be. I had a funny interaction with a woman at Costco the other day. They had a whole section of Kristen Hanna, who I love.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm standing there just looking at it going, I'm going to need to buy a few of these.
Yeah.
And a woman standing next to me is doing the same thing. She's just looking. We're both staring blankly for like 5 minutes. And I turned around and said, have you read any of these? She's like, yeah. Nightingale was great. I'm like, oh yeah, love that. And I'm like, I like The Great Alone. She's like, oh yeah, that one's good. I'm looking for Four Winds. I'm like, oh, I have that one, but I haven't started it. And she goes, I have a stack at home. Why would I need more books? I really don't need to be standing here right now. I'm like, me neither. Same thing. I grab 2 books and I walk out. And I was like, add those to the stack.
I really have a problem with buying books.
I know, they're so
But I like to support the industry, so I feel like it's okay to do. But I just have a love affair with like the books I want to read.
I know. Like I will carry them around with me and not... Actually, to be honest, like Stephen King's Bag of Bones, I carried with me for like 2 or 3 years and finally had some time in Australia or a flight to Australia. And I finally read all like 800 pages of it or whatever. But it was like one of those that I started 3 times, loved it.
You know what I did that with? The Stand.
Oh, really?
Have you read The Stand?
No, I haven't yet.
It's one of the longest books that exists. And when the pandemic started, it's terrible because it's about like a virus that kills the world.
I wanted to read it during the pandemic.
Yeah. So, but I got it on Audible and I started listening to it. And it is really good. good, but I feel like it's going to be years before I'm done with it. I just pick it up every once in a while. And then it hit a little too close to home, and then I put it away, but it's one that I kind of revisit.
That's like The Splendid and the Vile. Have you heard this? See, I love all these Gatsby era, like 20s. I'm obsessed with the Vanderbilt family. So to read stuff from that time period and whatnot. But Splendid and the Vile, and there's another one.
But you haven't read The Great Gatsby yet.
But I can't get through Gatsby.
Really?
That's one that sits on my. I've started it 3 times and I can't get. I think I need to do the audio version. Maybe then I'll get
the
through
audio version.
It.
I love audio.
I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that.
You need to.
Kind of like
I love
this is your time period.
Yeah, I know. I know. And it's a small book, and it's a classic, and it's like everything I love. But I just like start it and never finish it. Maybe I just need to do the
audiobook.
And that's how I did your book. Like I got through that one pretty quick. I was like, all right, the audiobooks are great, especially when there's someone great reading them. I did Betty White's autobiography recently, and I've done a few audiobooks. I think I just need to stick with those maybe for now.
I'm listening to a really cool audiobook. You can just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. It's called it's called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig.
I've heard of this.
It's
I haven't
so
read it.
interesting. I mean,
good?
it's fun. It's like a fantasy, but it's about a woman who has a really hard life. But sort of self-inflicted. Like she's made really bad decisions in her life. She's dealing with depression and she decides to commit suicide. This is all like right in the very beginning. And then she goes to this midnight library where she's given an opportunity to make different choices and see how her life would have turned out in all these different ways. So it's really...
Oh my gosh, are they making that a movie? They must be.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That sounds really good.
So like part of her, she wanted to be, well, the woman reading it I think is Australian. She wanted to be a glaciologist.
Oh.
I love the way they pronounce all these words. So I don't know if that's how we're supposed to pronounce it as Americans. A glacier.
Funny you should say that. In the intro, we were talking about how
vocabulary
about succession or secession, and we can't decide if it's secession or succession.
There's 2 different words. They mean 2 different things. Like secession means like to secede, right?
So it's
succession means passed down.
Oh, okay.
That's what one of the Matts was trying to explain to us, but I obviously did not pick up on. That makes
Okay,
sense.
are you talking about the TV series?
The TV series, because you said that
Succession.
Wait, that's about passing down the
the
power.
torch. Yes.
From
So that's where we were getting stuck.
So
Was like we were like, is
succession.
it success or succeed?
Guys.
It was a whole thing.
We also had the conversation recently about, is it Nashvillian or Nashvillian or
Nashvillian.
Villian?
I think it's Villian.
I prefer villain.
Ooh.
I do.
I just like villains.
Well, no, not necessarily. I just
She
feel like
is
it
a superhero. You're a
flows.
superhero girl.
I mean,
You love
I do
all that
like
Marvel,
superheroes.
DC. You are into that.
We're a nerd family.
You are.
We're a nerd family too. All 3 boys. Yes, I have 3 boys with my husband. I mean, my husband is the third boy.
The third.
But we're sci-fi, Marvel, all superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
See, we're not. I don't know what my family is like. As they're getting bigger, my boys are a little bit older than yours, though. I think, right? 13
Mine are
and
14
16.
and 12. Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to do their own thing, and like they'll be up late at night watching The Office or Parks and Rec or something. And I found out recently that my oldest one has been watching movies by himself, which kind of breaks my heart because I'll watch anything he wants to watch. But getting him to watch something is kind of difficult. But I want to watch with them, but I'm finding out they have their own tastes and stuff, and I can't really. So I'm trying to get them. I always try to get them to watch Star Wars. Recently, try to get them to watch Harry Potter. The little one's the only one I can manipulate. Hey, I'll give you some candy if you sit down and watch Harry Potter with me. You know, and then he gets hooked, and then he likes it. But the older ones, like the last thing I really got them into, I think during the pandemic, I got them into Hunger Games.
Oh, that's
So-
Did they read the books?
I got the middle one to read the books with me. I read them with him.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love those. I got my kids to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles over
Yes.
the last weekend, and it was so
Did
good.
they like
did
it?
not want to watch it because it was an old movie.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it was so great, and they loved it. It
So
really holds up.
we did a John Candy summer where we did all John Candy movies, and then we did a Tom Hanks marathon, and sometimes we'll go through those and we
But-
force them to sit.
She did not watch That Thing You Do.
I've never seen
Really?
it.
I don't know
I've
what's
never
wrong
seen
with
it.
her.
She gets mad at me about that one, and she just found out about a new one today that I haven't watched.
So on Wednesdays, we wear pink because of Mean Girls.
I was so confused.
And she's never seen it.
I've never seen Mean
maybe it's our generation. I think because you're a little bit younger. She's 10 years younger. So
I'm planning a retreat, and we're taking all the women who have not watched all the movies, and I'm gonna make
And we're
you
gonna
watch
watch
them.
them.
All right. Did they hold up?
Yes, they're
Mean Girls is supposed to be. I mean, like it's like I guess our Clueless. Did you?
Oh, Clueless. Was
yeah,
I was
great.
around for Clueless.
But you probably came to Clueless after. Like Clueless was like I feel like for us.
What year was that?
Oh gosh, 94
something.
I was in middle
No,
school.
it couldn't have been 94.
I think it was before that, maybe.
95.
It was 95? Oh.
95.
Mid-90s.
So I was in middle school, or almost in middle school.
Yeah, so I mean, we were in high school then, right? So or out of high school. By then, I was out of high school. Yeah,
I
no,
was out of
college.
college.
Yeah. So I feel like it was a little bit, and back then you had to go to the movies and see the movies. Like Mean Girls, I don't know. I feel like that was more my little sisters what they watched.
Well, you need to watch it.
Okay, I wonder if Ashley. You think Ashley's seen it? Do you think it's like a big movie for her? 'Cause
Probably.
She's a little bit younger.
I have to ask her.
Yeah.
That'd be a good
When she comes to
barometer.
Nashville, you got to send her this way. We got to.
Yeah.
We have to pick her brain because I'm obsessed with How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
She's supposed to be the mother. Well, don't tell us. We'll talk to her about it. She was supposed to be the mother.
We wanted her to be the mother.
I know, I thought
think
for
they
sure
didn't
she was
really
gonna be the
know
mother.
who was going to be the mother.
No,
They
I
were
don't think
trying
they
to
did.
I get
figure
that
it
feeling.
out.
They kept trying to feel. Then they send her to Germany. Then she comes back. Anyway, I was obsessed, and so I didn't realize you guys were sisters until your Instagram.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Same. I had no idea.
Oh my
I love
gosh,
that.
that's
I've
so
been following
funny.
your
Y'all are so great
Instagram for
together.
years. I'm not sure how I came to it the first time, but just loved watching your Instagram, and then to become friends with you, and then to be like, her sister's Ashley. Wait.
Oh,
love
that's
that
so
show.
funny.
But-
And we started doing a lot of stuff together during the pandemic because everyone was isolated and we wanted to talk. So we're like, well, let's do Instagram Live. So we
Yeah.
started talking on Instagram all the time. And then we decided to produce these movies for Hallmark. And so we started working together for the first time. Like we'd never worked together before, which I cannot believe.
Yeah, I know. You guys are both really funny. So cute.
Thank you.
And
we have fun together.
And I just got to meet her at the Christmas.
I know
con.
she's obsessed with you
I
and loves
love
your career
her.
and wants the career you have.
Oh well, same.
She really admires the way you've directed.
And
and
she's so, I mean, walking around that Christmas con too, she was so confident. Like the way she carries herself, the way she engages with people. I think she's just a real gem. I love her.
that's good. I'm so
I mean,
glad
I only
you
got to
guys-
mean her for a second, but I was like, I know you. Like, I just feel like I know her.
Well, I'm so glad you guys connected there.
No, I want to be your sisters.
All right.
Me and all
you
7
can
of my
join.
sisters can come join your
Yeah.
2 sisters
At the retreat, where I'm making you watch
The
all
Mean
the
Girls
movies.
retreat.
at the retreat.
So we have to go back to Succession.
Okay.
Because
Succession.
this has been an ongoing conversation
Okay.
on this podcast.
Okay.
Because I've watched all of it now.
Okay.
I'm getting through it, but it's hard. My husband keeps falling asleep. I'm like, do I turn it off?
Really? You
Do I
don't
leave
like it?
on?
So
It's a little. I'm only 2 episodes in, so
She
I'm
can't-
just. It's
2
dragging a little
episodes
bit.
in the first season.
He's still in a coma.
Yes, she doesn't know. She doesn't know what's coming.
Oh, are there more than 1 season? Is there? more than one
Yes,
season?
there's 2
Oh,
seasons.
I'm a little behind.
You have a lot.
All right, you
catch
2
up
talk.
on.
I'll listen.
3 seasons.
It'll be a spoiler
Wait,
for me
you've
and anybody
watched
that
the
hasn't.
whole
I've
thing?
watched the whole thing now.
Okay.
And I've determined that it's not a dislike for the show. I think it's a well done show. It's beautifully done, beautifully acted. However, they are all garbage humans.
Well,
and I feel
yeah.
like I cannot get behind any of them. And it's so frustrating.
You sort of love to hate them.
I don't love to hate them. I want to have one that I like. And every time I think I'm there.
That's like Yellowstone. Like, do you watch Yellowstone?
I haven't watched Yellowstone.
So there's at least one family member you can get behind, and maybe Kevin Costner's
No,
character, but
none
like
of
the
these
family members
people-
are pretty awful. It
no,
reminds
I
me of
agree
that.
with you on that.
Oh, and every
None
time
of them
you
are
think,
likable, but I think they're so bad that I like how bad they are, and then I start rooting for which one.
I'm almost to the point where I'm rooting for Logan. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he kind of goes back and forth. That's what I think is so brilliant about the show, and I think it's hysterical. This last season too, I just thought was hilarious.
it
Is
just-
Logan the Kieran Culkin character?
No,
No.
he's the dad.
Okay.
Like,
Kieran Culkin, by the way,
Is
is
the-
genius.
amazing.
I went to high school with him for a half a minute, and him and Mac and their big brother Shane
Mac.
all went to the private school I went to in 10th grade.
No, but
Well, Kieran Culkin was in Father of the Bride.
That's right. He
was your brother. Was my brother.
He's such a little wild thing, right? When back then was he like he was just always he's like that character.
He was great. He was really
just trouble.
funny
He wants to
and-
cause trouble.
Yeah, he was great.
I remember he
though.
used to always wear 2 different shoes.
Really?
And he used to do something like instead of giving you the finger, do the opposite of it. And he'd be
that's
like,
funny.
there you go. And I was like,
is it weird to
Wonderful.
see him say all these horrible things?
oh, yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
it's
He's
crazy.
like, he's your baby brother.
And then we got to do Father of the Bride 3-ish. Did you know about that?
No.
We shot a Father of the Bride reunion like a year and a half ago.
Oh, I did
on
watch that. Yes, I
Zoom.
did. I did watch
And so we
that.
got to see everybody. And Kieran had just had a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just had a baby.
Oh,
He
he's-
may have 2 now or something.
Who's he married? Was he married to? No.
Kieran Culkin's married to Jazz someone.
Oh, okay.
Jazz someone. I love
Jazz someone.
She's great.
That's my favorite.
She's awesome.
So, all right. So Succession. So
I'm a yes on Succession.
you're loving it.
I'm gonna watch it because my husband's gonna force me to watch it, but
See, that's funny that there's like, if you find that there's not redeemable characters, like that's a problem.
It's
My
not
husband
that they're
has.
not redeemable because somehow they all find their way back, and I can't fathom a dynamic where these horrible things would happen and that everybody would just be like, psh, whatever.
See, I feel like in Yellowstone, at least, like the only thing I really have to compare it to is Yellowstone, which is, the cowboy version of the same sort of like family-run business and interfighting and all that stuff. But there's a few characters that are just cutthroat, like vicious, like Beth and the brother, I think it's Jamie. But then there's the one brother who's like, pure heart, and then there's the dad,
nobody
and
has
then
a
there's
pure heart here.
But there's like
No one.
and these guys are like killing each other. But the family comes together because other people are attacking them.
I
So I feel
feel-
like that's what they have together.
That's
Is
what happens
Succession
in
the same?
Succession, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it more closely relates to Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, really?
With less, there's comedy there, but in the sense of like, you just know everything's about to go horribly wrong and your skin is crawling the whole time. And it's a really rough experience for me.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to have to dive into it a little more. Something else we both watched because on your recommendation was Don't Look Up.
What'd you think?
It was so good.
I loved it.
I loved it. I was shaking. Like I got nervous. Like I get like that during those apocalyptic movies anyway, but the fact that nobody would listen to them, like I had to stop the movie and go to dinner and come back, and I was like disturbed through dinner. Like nobody will believe us that the world's
She texted
ending.
me like,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to watch this. I don't know how you're going to react to this. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. But
She really embodies stuff,
I do.
You feel them.
I do. But this
Well, it's
one,
depressing.
well,
It is.
and I found
But
myself,
brilliant.
which is out of character for me, almost hoping it would end poorly, because of these people. I was like, well, they have it coming.
Right.
So
I mean, it's kind of metaphorical, though, for, what's actually
much.
happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a relief to see, too. Like,
Yeah.
we're like the world is not oblivious to the fact that this is bizarre, what we're experiencing.
Well, and I think that the interesting thing is I'm on a text with like 13 friends back from Connecticut, and they all watched it a few weeks ago, and they were talking about it, and a few of them were shocked they were like, I wish I had known that it was like a social commentary, not a real comedy movie, because they were expecting these amazing actors. I mean, you got Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Blanchett and Meryl Streep and
Who was
Tyler Perry
fabulous.
and and Timothy Chalamet. You've got these amazing actors, and they are delivering an amazing performance in this bizarre movie, but it's actually like a social commentary, not just a balls out comedy. So they were like, I wish I had known that, because then I feel like I would have enjoyed it more. So I was glad knowing that going in. But at the same time, it was, for my husband sitting next to me watch it, I made him watch it. And we're a little bit opposite, like political views and different things that are going on in the world right now. So it's, he's like kind of like rolling his eyes at some parts of it. And I'm like, yep, that makes sense. That I like that. See, that's like because of, so there's a lot of different stuff about people not trusting scientists and not taking, real warnings seriously and what's happening to our world, whether it's, social or it's environmental or like all these different levels.
And if you just don't look at it, it'll go away.
Right.
It
Just
doesn't
ignore
exist.
it.
keep your eyes
Fine.
down.
Yeah.
Don't look up.
It definitely sparks great conversation. My kids haven't seen it yet, but I want them to see it, and I want
yeah.
to talk about it with them. And,
Interesting.
you
I didn't
know,
even think about showing it to the kids.
Yeah. And if you think it's over, it's not over. Wait till the end.
Oh, it's so good.
There's an amazing scene.
I know, I did
Plays all
too.
so well.
I
Oh,
almost
there's
turned
an
it off.
awesome scene at the end.
Yeah, I almost turned it off. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny. My husband actually predicted that part. I was like, oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Did you write this? That's always what we say in our family.
Are you the writer?
If you get ahead of it. Oh, did you write it? No, that was a great movie. So that was really, I was glad to hear that.
That was a great
I was
recommendation.
glad you
Good, I'm glad you
recommended
guys
that.
liked it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's so fun like having guests on, because not only do we get to like explore your work and your stuff and what the fans at home might want to hear about, but also, to hear about what you are digging and then to like dig into those things
Yeah.
based on, and it's funny to like agree or disagree on things that,
Yeah.
are there any like podcasts you're listening to?
Yes, but before I forget, the other show is 1883. Have you seen Tim McGraw's
Yes.
show yet in Faith
Yes.
Hill?
I'm not a Yellowstone watcher, so
I'm not
That's my
either.
thing.
I've
you've
never
seen
seen
1883.
Yellowstone, but I saw 1883 because of them, and I was so blown away by what they are doing
Their
in that
performances
show. Their
are
performances
amazing.
are
She looks
amazing.
gorgeous.
She looks amazing.
With, like, no makeup
strong.
on. So strong. I mean, she really, I don't know if she's normally in that kind of shape. I don't know her, but I mean, she is a cowgirl, man. She
Yeah.
is like,
I just think it's really brave of them to make that choice and go and do something that must be so out of their comfort zone.
I got really excited. The scene in the bathtub, they're in the hotel. It's like the last bath they get to take before they head out.
Yeah.
And they're in the bathtub and they make out for a second. And I was like, oh my gosh, it must be so nice to make out with someone you like making out. Like that,
Right,
you know.
that you actually know.
That's comfortable.
And, yes, that
That's
you
like, I
usually
can
make
kiss
out
you.
with.
Yeah. Don't you find it so awkward to like make out with people?
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's really, people are like, oh my gosh, you got to make out with blah, blah, blah. Isn't that amazing? No, it's awkward.
It's terrible because you have tons of makeup on. Everyone's looking at you.
You have
and
to
like,
have your nose a certain
you're
way.
just thinking
or
like, does this look okay
space.
for the camera?
Yeah, is my
And-
neck
yeah.
looking fat? And my, you know. Yeah, it's awful.
Half
and then
the time you've just met the person.
yeah. Hi, nice to meet you. Want a Tic Tac? Here we go. Like, it's not like you get to choose the person or you're in a dark, secluded room making out.
Yeah.
You're like doing it for the camera in front of lots of people. The last time I had to do one, actually not the last time, 2 movies ago, I did a movie called Dear Christmas with Jason Priestley.
Yeah. I worked with Jason.
And my nephew is holding the boom behind him during my close-up. So not only, during my close-up, my nephew is in my eye line.
Oh, no.
And I'm having to kiss Jason, and my nephew's like right there. Not only is he hearing it through the boom, he has to keep his eyes open to make sure the microphone's just above my head. And it was probably the both of us were like, this is going to cause a problem for us for the rest of our lives a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, it's going to put a little distance between us because it was super awkward. And I was like, you see, like, it's not like I was enjoying it, like kissing a guy that's not your uncle. It was super awkward. And I will always have that memory of him standing right there. But I had to keep closing my eyes and go, you're 15, 90210. You're 15,
Yeah, right.
90210.
The last,
still Jason Priestley.
yeah, the last kiss I had to do, which by the way, I think I've also kissed Jason Priestley. 'cause
Oh, really?
We did a
What was
movie
it?
together. It was called Cold Blooded years ago, and I cannot remember if we had a kiss in it, but I bet we did. But anyway, the last kiss that I had to do was for Sister Swap, the movies that my sister and I did, and it was in a movie theater with Mark Declan, who's the sweetest guy. But they had to have these lights flickering on our faces for the kiss. So they put a movie, because we were in a movie theater, they actually put a movie up, but it was Mark's other Hallmark movie with another girl where they kissing each other.
Oh, that's
so literally like
bizarre.
we're sitting in the seats and we're having this moment where we have to kiss, and meanwhile he's like kissing,
He's kissing
some other
someone else
girl
on the
in some other
screen.
movie. Yeah.
Did that take you so far out of it, or did you like look at it and go, oh, I'm going to kiss him better than she did?
No, it took me so far out of it.
She would look at it. She's like, "Oh, it's on. I can do that."
Competitive. Here we go.
She wins. I'm not even
Sometimes I
gonna
watch
try.
kissing scenes and I'm like, how did they make it so realistic? I feel like I can't, like, maybe I wear my heart on my sleeve too much to like be able to dig into characters like the way that I want to,
Mm-hmm.
the way I would imagine if I was like single. I could, you know, with love stories and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have this experience, obviously.
Amanda, how is it when you kiss people that are not your husband?
I've never done that, but I do remember in high school I dated this one guy, and he was a very nice looking guy. He was a male model or whatever, and so all my friends were like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna kiss you," and I was like, "Okay," and then he finally did, and I was like, "Oh." Like,
Yeah.
you could tell he was like trying
Dun,
to
dun,
kiss you
dun.
like they do in the movies,
Oh.
and it was just not
Like there are some actors that'll eat your face that are like,
Yeah.
what? And you're like, oh my
No.
God, can you leave my lipstick on, please? Thank
Oh,
you.
it was so
Yes.
bad. It never happened again.
Or when they have bad breath, or they
was
just
like,
had a
"You're-
tuna
you're
fish
pretty."
sandwich.
But
or-
no.
You just don't know. It's not, guys, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
No, it's not.
What do your kids think of it when they see that? Do they?
They go like this.
Yeah.
No.
They don't like it.
My little one watches like, why are you kissing someone that's not daddy? I'm like, I'm not really kissing him. Looks like you are.
Yeah.
I'm like, but not
Define
really.
kissing.
Not in my heart.
Yeah.
Not in my heart. That's the way to do it.
Okay, before we go into the rapid fire questions, I want to ask you about your book and your story with your mother, which is just so sweet and heartbreaking, and I know it's really important to you, and I just wanted to see if you would share with us a little today.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So, my mom was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia, which was caused by Alzheimer's disease. We found that out later in like 2006. And then she had an 11-year journey with the disease. And And then she passed away about 5 years ago. But I wrote a memoir about our family's journey called Where the Light Gets In, which you're listening to on audio. Thank you for listening to that.
Oh, I love it. I highly recommend it for everyone out there.
Thank you. And it was really great because it was very isolating when my mom was going through it. She was embarrassed. She didn't want us to talk about it. We weren't connected with the Alzheimer's Association really. And it was a really long road, a hard one for my dad, especially. He was the primary caregiver. And so when I finally decided to talk about it, it was so freeing and empowering and really connected me to a great community of people and support systems. And so writing the book was really awesome. And then I've also gotten into a lot of fundraising and advocacy work. And
at Vanderbilt and at Belmont?
Through the Alzheimer's Association, we do a fundraiser every year called the Dance Party to End Alz, which you've got to come to next year.
Yeah.
It's going to be in November. And this year we're going to do 90s. So we just dress up and it's like really fun.
I'm so there.
Yeah, we get country music artists or whoever artists we can get to come and play 90s songs. Last year was 80s. It'll be our 5th year of this coming up.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
So we've raised like $1.5 million for Alzheimer's research. And then I just joined the memory and aging study at Vanderbilt. So
with one of our friends that actually works
yeah,
there,
such a small world.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? What does that entail? You have to get do you get asked questions? You have to go to testing, anything like that?
Yeah, it's really intense. But I feel like we need to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, we have cures, we have medicines, we have vaccines because of people putting their bodies out there and saying, okay, test me, see if this works.
So can anyone do it, or are you doing it specifically because you have it in?
No, anyone over 50 can do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyone over 50. I'm 50.
It's probably, I'm getting close. I'm getting close.
I was eligible. They want healthy brains that don't have cognitive impairment, and then they're going to just study my brain as I age.
So like once a year you go in and do some crazy rounds? Or
I'm going to go
a
like once every year or actually a year and a half to 2 years.
Okay.
And so it's pretty intensive.
So go get your mammogram, go get your colonoscopy, and then go to your memory.
Yeah, and so it's like there's a lot of cognitive testing. Then they do MRI, they do lumbar puncture, they do like blood draw. And I did my first cognitive testing the other day. It was quite something. Yeah.
So can people do this only at Vanderbilt, or are there other places around the country?
You know what? I would say if you are interested in doing something like this, go to your local hospital and look for either a clinical trial or some sort of study, because they need people. They need people to sign up for these things. And especially if you're able to and you have the time to do it, if you have the resources, because it's really hard for a lot of people. They can't leave work. They don't have childcare. There's so many reasons why people can't join studies. So I am able to, and I have it in my family. So I was very motivated to
in 4.5 years, I will join as well.
Yay.
I'll come do that. I got you to go to the screenwriting. You get me to go to the cognitive
Mine is
study.
way less fun, but
I don't know. It sounds exciting in a way.
Benefits.
And that's the thing. It's great research. I know that Michael J. Fox did the opening of your book. Because your mom had worked with him on other charity stuff before.
Well, my mom helped create the development department at the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's. Oh, wow. So she worked with him for years.
How did she get involved with that? Just coincidentally?
She was hired by a headhunter. My mom was an incredible fundraiser, and she worked at Sarah Lawrence College in Bronxville, New York. And then she worked at Sloan Kettering, and then she got hired from there to Michael J. Fox. And she really believed in what they did there. But she started to get sick when she was there and had to retire.
And he did a beautiful foreword on your book that, and on the audio book, you can hear him actually read it, which is so lovely too. And that was just an interesting tie-in. Like I didn't know how he was involved, and that's just so crazy that she came to him like through a different way, and then turns out he could kind of give you guys some support there too.
And also full circle, Michael J. Fox was in that movie I did with Jason Priestley called Cold Blooded.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, now I got to go watch Cold Blooded.
I know.
And I got to finish Succession.
Oh, you do have to finish it. Mostly so you can understand.
I can understand your trepidation.
Gosh.
So you do so much charity work. I love the store, and I keep telling you I've got to get my kids to go over there and help out. Can you tell us a little bit about where that came from?
The store is a free grocery store in Nashville, referral based, and we help people facing food insecurity get back on their feet. It's like a year-long program for people who are referred to us.
They have to be referred by like a doctor or a
we have 16 or more different referral agencies in the area. So there are other nonprofits. There's churches, hospitals. Vanderbilt Children's Hospital is part of them.
And they go to the store.org is the website, right? So people can donate. Can they donate food, just money? How does that?
We have an Amazon Smile wish list, so the things that they need. And then we buy a lot of our food from Second Harvest Food Bank.
Okay.
And then we have corporate partnerships, so we get a lot of food donated from them. And the concept is we want it to look like the best community grocery store, like a Whole Foods or something, that you'd be excited to come into. So it's not a handout.
Yeah.
It's people can go in and shop and have a normal shopping experience.
And they get 1 year to come in and shop all they need.
And then they can get referred and come back again. But a lot of people
But the idea is to
don't.
get them on their feet.
Yeah, and already, we've been able to move hundreds of families through.
And do those people come back and volunteer sometimes?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is so cool.
Where did this idea stem from?
Well, there's a place in Santa Barbara called Unity Shop. And one year we were just looking for a place to volunteer at Thanksgiving and heard about this place and we went. And what was so great is immediately my kids were given jobs. They were learning about vacuum sealing beans and stacking rice and beans on the shelf and barcoding and checking people out. And so they were learning skills and they were feeling like they were doing something useful. And then we just saw this concept of people being able to shop and make choices, and their kids are able to see their parents make choices and being in a position of power instead of just getting a handout. Because we were hearing these stories about even Toys for Tots, which is amazing, but a lot of times they'll get a toy that they don't want.
Right.
Or, don't need, and it's just it's not empowering.
Yeah. Especially, I would imagine with food, if there's a recipe or love, or it's the only one maybe you can't get the pieces of it to put it together.
Or if you have food allergies, or if
I didn't even think of that.
If you have a specific kind of diet or a culture that has a different kind of diet, you can make those kinds of choices. So
it's great. So people can come help out. They can go donate.
Yep.
Visit.
Hands on Nashville is where you can sign up to volunteer if you want to. We always need volunteers. And,
we need to go.
We'll go.
Yeah,
it's
we would
super
love to.
fun.
I've been asking her. I've been wanting to do it with my boys for the last 2 months, with Christmas and everything. I was trying to do it, and then of course I put it off, and now I just need to do it because I really. Since we moved to Nashville, having a hard time kind of reaching out, and my boys are just becoming spoiled brats. So I'm just looking for an excuse to.
Well, that's how I got my kids to Unity Shop. I was like, I don't like the way they're acting.
Yeah,
let's go do some service.
It's so important to model that for your kids.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing that you did that.
You guys, you do. I mean, I got excited when you told me when we were doing our writing course at Belmont that you had a ballroom named after you. Belmont, just in November?
Yeah, we're hoping we can go sleep there sometime, or at least roller skate.
Can we just have a girls sleepover for your birthday or something? We'll just bring sleeping bags.
Watch Mean Girls
at your ballroom at Belmont.
I love it. We got to do that. Oh my
Giant
gosh. No, that's
party.
awesome. So that's got to be so fun. Such a fun thing. And then and then to have the store is around the corner from Belmont,
Yeah,
right?
it's really close. We could have walked there from our class.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we should have done that.
We should have. Then we could have done our philanthropy with our writing course.
Class was so much work. I'm kind of enjoying
class was so
having a little bit of free time.
Most of our texts were are you struggling with the homework? There was so much homework.
Oh my
And we only had
gosh.
one class.
Yeah, I don't know how these kids do it.
I know. We were kind of how are the kids doing it? But then I try to remind us that we have children and households to
working,
run, and we're
we're
working
jobs,
moms.
yeah.
And it's a lot.
It was a lot.
It's
But
a lot.
She would tell me every day, I've got to go home and do screenwriting. I can't come today.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I think our first episode of the podcast, I was writing our final that morning. And I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta edit my script. I have 117 pages I have to edit.
I mean, how cool is it that after a semester we have a script?
We have scripts. We
Yeah.
have written scripts, and I've read yours. And
I
it
read
is
yours.
oh, that's right. You gave
Yeah.
me great notes on it. I'm going to
Yeah.
go back and do a reread. Actually, probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to visit one more time before I hand it off. But yours was so good. You are such a talented writer. Your book, the script, that's the only stuff I've read of you. But I mean, you got to keep going on that path. That is, I mean, I know it's
Thank you.
what
I want
was
to. I
given
love
you
it.
from.
I mean, you love it too, right?
You know what? I always hated writing. It always seemed like such a chore. But now I've realized that there's this part of me that sometimes itches to do something. I'm not fulfilling a creative itch. Literally, like I get really itchy. Like I get like, I gotta do something. I gotta do something now. I gotta do something. And I always want to write stuff down, but it's usually like lists and crap like that. To have that class, I didn't have that itch anymore.
Yeah.
It like went away.
Oh, that's good.
So I was like, I think I found
gotta
the thing
write
I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I just gotta force myself to do it.
That's the hard. That was what was great about having the deadline, and
Every
he's
Tuesday.
expecting, and he can be intimidating too.
15 pages.
Like, I don't want him to be mad.
I think if the class had been 16 kids, I would have been a little bit more like fading in the background, like didn't quite get my homework done. But because there's only 4 kids and the 2 of us, there was all this pressure to be like, well, we can't let the kids down. We have to do our book reports.
Right.
We had to give presentations. We had to show parts of movies. Like we had to like come up with what the midpoint of a movie is, or the inciting incident, or the.
I love that your motivation was lead by example. That's so
I know. I didn't want to let those kids down.
No.
We were like we felt like they were having to do this in like 6 different classes. We're only doing the one. We got to at least show up for this one.
I wonder how they're going to feel about you calling them kids. I'm sure they feel very adult.
I've actually kept in touch with one of them.
You have?
She's really interesting, and she collects old photos. And in my old house, I found a old photo album, and I can't find the owners. So I think I'm going to give her the old photos.
Oh, that's great.
She like collects old photos of other people.
That's awesome.
Isn't that fun?
It's really sweet.
You know how do you get the SAG like scripts? Do you get them sent to you?
No, not the scripts.
Oh, okay. Because I just got these scripts. You know how you get screeners, like every year you get the screeners? So I'm also getting screenplays.
Oh my gosh,
I was
really?
thinking,
you
if it's
should
not
give them to
against
Will.
rules, I would give them to Will.
Yeah, I mean,
'cause I know you don't want to pass out the movies. That's
if they're
illegal.
online, I would think, because we found them. I found Princess Bride online. That was one of our homeworks, was like find a movie you know very well and see what was different in it. That was a really interesting one. So I read Princess Bride after watching it a million times in my life, and to see what was different. And so I assume if I can find that one on there. And that was the original script. Like it's not the, it's not the annotated or whatever. It's not the version that actually ended up on screen. So I would think you could.
Yeah.
We should ask him.
Yeah, I will.
Amanda, did you know that by the time we hit middle age, our bodies produce less than half the collagen that they did in their 20s?
Well, that's why we start to look old. And our skin starts to sag, we get wrinkles, our hair gets thinner, our joints become stiffer, which I'm totally feeling.
I'm feeling that.
And it takes us a lot longer to recover from exercising.
So you know what helps?
What is that?
Collagen.
Collagen.
I know you have a hard time saying that
So
word.
hard for me.
So what I love is Biotrust's Ageless Multi-Collagen protein powders, because they ensure that my body is getting what it needs every day to help me rebuild the collagen so I can look and feel great.
That's right. Biotrust's Ageless Multi-Collagen proteins provide you with 5 types of collagen needed to support the entire anti-aging process, plus essential amino acids to make it a complete protein.
Yeah, many other brands on the market only use 1 or 2 types of collagen.
Collagen also supports healthy skin, hair, nails, bones, and joint health.
All the things I need. And you know that it can help with your athletic performance, with your recovery, and with an active lifestyle, which we have because we have 3 little kiddos running around and we like to go work out.
Yes. It also supports gut health, and it's easily digestible, which is really important to me. It also is taste-free and odorless. Thank you.
They're also third-party lab tested to ensure purity and potency.
That's right. There's no clumping like with other brands. It can even be mixed in with hot or cold beverages and soups. There's no artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, or sweeteners, and it's gluten-free. For all
You
my
love
gluten-free
that. You
chicos
love
out
that.
there.
Non-GMO, free of hormone and antibiotics. I'll just pour a little bit in my tea and I'm off to go. And I've gotten my collagen protein for the day. Listen, we want you guys to try it yourself. So here's what you got to do. Go to biotrust.com/binge, BINGE, to get your special offer up to 51% off today.
You'll also get free shipping on your order and support from personal health and fitness coaches that will work with you and share their expertise with you.
Yeah, so that's biotrust.com/binge, BING, to get your special up to 50. I can't believe 51%. That's a lot.
I know.
51% off offer. And we want to thank Biotrust for being a wonderful sponsor of this episode. Let's ask you some questions.
Okay.
All right, we ask everybody these pretty much same questions. I mean, there's a lot here. We don't have to go through all of them. But I think we've kind of covered a lot of this.
I know.
Yeah.
What show is listed under your continue to watch queue?
On
anything, yeah.
right now we just started Umbrella Academy, so that's on. That's actually a really fun. Am I not supposed to expand?
No, go ahead.
Please do.
That's a really fun show for adults and kids, I think.
So you're watching it with the whole family?
I'm watching it with my kids. Yeah,
Okay.
and Brad actually just watched the last episode.
It's
We're like
magical.
3
Is it
episodes
magical?
in. Yeah.
Okay, I
It's
feel like
about
I need to watch
superheroes.
that.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
I need to
watched
watch
the first
that.
few. I don't think I've gotten past that, but
So it sounds like you both have that in your continue watching. A book that's been on your nightstand too long.
Miss Pettigrew's last, or this is it. Major Pettigrew's Last Stand has been on my nightstand because a bookseller told me like 10 years ago that it was an amazing book, really sweet book. And I read like one chapter and I loved it. And I just haven't gotten back to it.
Isn't it funny? Sometimes you like love something and you're like, I need time to soak that all in, and then you never go back to it.
Yes.
I feel like that about a lot of things.
Yeah.
What's your go-to podcast for long commutes?
I love The Daily. I love the weekend reads, the Sunday reads, and the daily, like the longer stories. They're like 45 minutes long, but I also love the 20-minute daily podcast.
So check this out. Is it like
the New York Times
news? Oh, okay, yeah.
So I love that. I love Glennon Doyle's podcast, We Can Do Hard Things. Have you guys heard that one?
I've heard of this one, but I haven't listened.
What is it? What is it about?
Oh, it's about everything. A lot about relationships, women's empowerment, stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. I'm loving podcasts obviously I'm on a podcast now, but I'm loving podcasts in like or audiobooks as like my like walk the dog around the block. Like I'm starting to put them in around the house and like
Me too.
just listen in the car constantly because I have to listen to something in the car. I'm not into music. I'm not into news anymore. Got to listen to something. Show you only watch to have something to talk about with other people.
Used to be Ted Lasso, because everyone was talking about Ted Lasso, and then I became totally obsessed with it.
I don't know anyone that hates that show. Like, how can you?
I love that show.
It's amazing.
It's
so
prettiest-
happy. So
I know.
positive.
It's so nice to have a happy, positive show.
Yeah, the smiles, the accents, the whole thing. I mean,
The
even if
mustache.
you're not into the British accent, you got the Southern accent, you got
Right.
the whole thing. You got a lot of just a and you love that I love that the female relationship in that is actually a like a platonic friendship, like a nice friendship, as opposed to like a bickering like girl fight kind of thing happening. It's nice that there's like that example of like a boss and a woman and different ages and different socioeconomic,
And there's no competition.
and there's no competition. They're just like, they are true friends, supporters of each other, and that's okay. They don't. There's not a conflict there.
Yep, it's
which
really
is interesting.
interesting.
Because in television, there's always got to be a conflict, and the conflict really just comes from kind of outside the team, which is nice.
Yeah.
All-time favorite movie.
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that's a good one.
All time.
What's your favorite part of it? I just have to ask. I mean, if there's one scene you could watch over.
I mean, if I have to pick one, I think it would be when everything turns to color.
yeah.
She comes out and you get to see those red shoes and the yellow
Yellow
brick
brick
road. And
Okay. On this subject, just quickly.
yeah.
Y'all are mothers too. What is the appropriate age to show your kid Wizard of Oz so they're not traumatized?
Good question, because I started too early and then my kids didn't like it, and then we tried again later and they liked it better.
Okay. My kids are still young, so I feel like it's still
The
too
girls I wouldn't show. I think you could show your son,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't show the girls yet. I feel like they're a little too young, and they're a little afraid, right? They get a little afraid.
They're
of
all a
things.
little sensitive. Yeah.
It's funny how certain things jump
the
out
witch
at you.
is scary, then the monkey, flying monkeys are
Even the
scary.
wizard is scary.
And the wizard can be scary, yeah.
You know what my kids liked better than Wizard of Oz was the newer one, James Franco, the Wonderful Wizard of, what was it called?
Was it a remake?
No, it was like a prequel. Oz the Great and Powerful.
okay.
Yeah, Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah.
They really liked that one. For some reason, I don't know if it was more updated special effects or something, but that one they really, really took to.
What was the one was it the 80s or early 90s with the, maybe it was Wizard of Oz 2. It was really creepy.
I don't know.
Return to Oz.
That's the one with the heads, right?
I don't think I know that one.
I don't know
Don't
that
watch
one.
it. It's-
Okay. We showed our kids Never Ending Story.
Oh,
They loved it.
I love that. I always
Yeah.
wanted. I went around for the majority of my childhood with a little necklace
Yeah.
draped over my head.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
I went to a Comic-Con and she was there. Oh
my
Tammy,
gosh.
her name's Tammy. She played the Empress. I took pictures of her from across the table while we're sitting having dinner together because I was like sending pictures to my sister going, she's so gorgeous still.
Are her lips still the same?
Oh yeah.
Her lips were like
lips are the same.
like
pristine
dewy and
skin.
beautiful. Yeah.
I think that set the
gorgeous.
standard of beauty for a whole generation of
She is
young
just
girls.
stunning, lovely, sweet, and and they built her at this Comic-Con. It's in England. It's I think it's going to be at Wales, and it was Liverpool. They built her this Falcor, huge Falcor,
Oh,
and she
really?
took pictures on top of Falcor.
Oh my
I have a picture with her on top of Falcor.
Oh my god.
Are you jealous?
Did she do a lot of movies after that?
She didn't. She's doing them now. She's getting financing, and she's doing them herself. I think her husband is a director or something. She just did one about witches and called me to kind of do a small part in it, but it didn't work out.
Oh.
But yeah, she's got a movie coming out sometime soon. But yeah, Tammy, I'll look up what her name is. But I follow her on Instagram. She's really sweet.
I'll have to look at it.
But it's a
her
good.
up.
Did they love it?
They loved it.
That can be a little scary too, though, right? When
I guess, but I
when
don't
the
think
horse-
it's as scary as Wizard of Oz. Yeah, with the horse.
when it goes into the quicksand and stuff. I remember that.
That's sad. Yeah, that's sad.
But like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's super scary too. Like the guy who can smell children and stuff. That's the one I was terrified as a child.
That's
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
yeah.
It's like my husband's
Bang,
favorite.
Bang,
but-
we love
Love
you.
you.
I love that.
Hey, oh, yeah. I gotta watch that one again. Beauty product you can't live without.
You know, I'm really into Drunk Elephant. Any of their skincare, I really need.
What is there something special in it? Is it like a hyaluronic acid
You know,
or
I can tend to break out, and it's the one skincare line that I have stopped breaking out
okay.
when I've been using it.
All right.
All
Sweet.
right.
No, and
Sweet.
they've
I
got
am
like
for
a
that.
face oil that I really love at night.
Okay.
Like even with oils, like any face oil, I would normally break out, but not theirs.
Okay.
They've got
yeah,
like
I have
a-
to be careful. Isn't it funny how like you get older and you're like
So
wrinkles
unfair.
and zits now?
So
Thank you.
unfair.
Although you don't have any wrinkles. You're like
You don't
You
either.
don't
You look
age.
gorgeous. Both of
When
you
you
look
said your age a
gorgeous.
little while ago, I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah, sad.
That was.
you could still be the 19.
Those are some good genes you got there.
Thank you. And Drunk Elephant. No.
And Drunk Elephant.
This is not a paid ad.
Sponsor me. They better sponsor.
They can send me stuff. I'd appreciate it.
What show did you expect to like but ended up disliking?
Okay. Westworld, I thought was really interesting. And the first season, we were really into it. And then the second season, I just was like, oh gosh, I just kind of want to shoot myself. It's like, it's so dark.
It is so dark.
It's so well done. And the acting's incredible. But I can't. In this world that we're living in, I just can't do
a lot of
like
violence.
Ted
super dark
Lasso. Stick
shows.
with Ted Lasso.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never watched it.
I
need
did
to
the
watch
same
it.
thing. We made it through
Yeah.
the first season. I was like, nope, I'm done.
Ooh.
The second season gets even more intense.
Oof.
Yeah.
That can be rough sometimes. If you could take one food to a deserted island, what would it be?
Sushi.
I think that's so funny that you say sushi. I feel like that's like 7 foods in one.
I know that's
that's
how
the
you. Yeah, that's how you do it. You'd have your protein, your vegetables, your carbohydrates,
Your rice. I know. You
Yeah.
like a little sesame seed on
minerals, and your seaweed.
Yeah.
You're set.
there. It's good. But do you think you get a little sick of fish and seaweed if you're already on a beach?
Probably, but it'd be available.
I like it. I like that you said sushi. Like everybody always says pizza or pasta.
Sushi.
Or did someone say ice cream or something?
Chris said ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream. I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. What about a movie you feel like you should have watched but haven't?
Well, this year, West Side Story came out, and that was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. So I've wanted to watch that, and I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, I got to do that too. It was Spielberg, wasn't it?
Yeah. The other one I want to watch is an old one that Will recommended. Oh, The Apartment. I've never seen.
Oh, it's so good.
I really wanna
recently
watch
I
that.
put it on my iPad and I watched it on a flight one day because I
Yeah.
wasn't really sure I was going to be into it. So good.
I need to watch that.
Really
That's
good,
on
really
my bucket
kind of an
list.
important
I
if
don't know
you're
that
in the industry,
Yeah.
like for the filmmaking aspect, the storytelling aspect. It's it's John Shirley MacLaine
And Jack Lemmon?
Jack Lemmon, thank you. Shirley MacLaine and Jack Lemmon in The Apartment. It's his apartment.
Billy Wilder was.
Oh, and Billy Wilder is like his boss or something, and like he has to loan the apartment out. His boss wants to use the apartment to show off women to women. So this is like kind of becomes his apartment becomes he's like a pushover, and his apartment becomes the place where the higher ups at his company come to woo women that aren't their wives. So it's what happens in The Apartment. It's really interesting. I want to say it all takes place in like one night, and
So is it not a kid's thing for
no,
kids?
don't show it to the
Got
kids.
it. I was trying to convince the kids to watch
Just
it.
because it's a black and white does not mean no.
Good to know.
No, it's a
Save
little
that one for a few years.
Okay,
it's a
got
little
it.
racy. Watch that one
Got
with
it.
Brad late tonight.
Okay.
Workout or class that you like or obsessed with?
I really love Peloton. I've gotten into my Peloton.
You know what? I'm back on there. You want to compete? No. Me neither. Actually, I
terrible
don't compete with
at that.
anybody.
You and your.
We can just be friends and cheer each other on. Did you do it today?
I keep getting people requesting. I'm under
Oh,
a
no.
name you would never recognize or anything. And like people want to follow, and I'm like, no.
I know.
just
I
want
did it with one
privacy.
girl in England that I know, and I was like, I felt like, yeah, I'm not going to be super competitive. And then some of my friends are like, do you want to do it? I'm like, no.
I'm not competitive with
I don't
it.
like to be competitive, but I do realize I work out harder when, like, we just started Orange Theory, and I do
Yeah.
realize I am a little competitive
Yeah.
when you see those numbers up there. Mainly with myself, not with anyone else.
I just want to make sure I get those splats.
That's the thing, the splats.
They really motivate you. With
What are splats?
I
That
figured out a
sounds
trick
not
yesterday, by
fun.
the way.
it's actually
So
do not. I don't need to cheat at all. Do not tell me.
I figured out how to cheat. If you squeeze your hand, like you get
She's gonna tell me.
when you do a blood draw and they want you to squeeze your hand to get
Yeah.
the blood pumping
You're
a little
cheating the
faster.
system.
Squeeze your squeeze your fist a little bit and you'll get into the orange zone a little faster.
Oh.
But are you actually getting your splats?
I don't know.
I want the afterburn.
I get to the orange a little faster. I just realized that I have a very slow heart to get up to the heartbeat. I just think the thing's not reading it properly. So if I do that, it just happens quicker.
Okay.
I noticed it yesterday. I did a little experiment. But tell her about how the splats work.
So for every minute you spend in the burn zone, which is like a certain heart rate, you wear a monitor for the whole thing. For every
So there's gray, blue.
gray, blue, green, orange, and red. So every minute you spend in orange or red, you get a splat point. And 12 splat points equals your afterburn, which means you continue to burn calories for the next 24 hours.
And the orange zone, it's like 84. You have to get to your heart rate to 84%. But and it's different for everybody though, because Amanda's heart rate will be up there right away, but mine takes a really long time. Like my resting heart rate's really low.
I got 27 splats yesterday.
Did you?
Wow.
No, you didn't. We were tied at the end. I had 23, and that was like the most ever. Yes, we do. Anyway, we could fight about that all day. But anyway, it does make me like, I'm always like, okay, I'm just going to get 15 splats. And I'm like, oh, well, I got 16. Let me get 20. Oh, I've done 22 before. Let me try to get 23 or, so I do
That's
that kind
great.
of thing. And yesterday I realized I was like one of the top 3 people in the class with the splats. And I was like, oh, yay, I'm like in the top of the...
looked at that at all.
I just started doing that where I look around and I'm like, who? Yeah.
Who am I beating?
But who? No, not who specifically. Like, is it that guy or is it that person? It's more like how many people up there have how many splats and can I catch them or something?
See, that's why I'm never going to give you my Peloton information. So I'm going to just be like, I'm just going to stick my head in the sand on that one.
Just text me on days you do it. Maybe it'll motivate me to at least do it.
Okay.
I need accountability.
No, if you need some real humanization of Melissa, come to Orange Theory because you will just see us both at our very worst.
Really?
For sure. All right, last question here is most juicy guilty pleasure.
Oh, watching TV in the daytime.
Oh, I know. It feels good though. Like, right?
It does. I feel like I'm being really naughty.
Yeah. Do your kids think that when like they're not around that you're like napping all day? Because mine seem to think that that's all
I
they
totally thought that's what my mom did.
Really?
It was not at all.
No, I don't think they think that of me at all.
Oh,
Because I don't
nice.
typically like go nap.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
My kids like literally on those things, those Mother's Day, like what does your mom do when you're at school?
Naps.
Nap, watch TV, play on her phone. I'm like,
No,
excuse
but
me.
the times that I've done it, like every once in a while, I will like turn on something in the daytime, even if it's for the class or like a movie I need to watch. I feel like I don't know what it is. Like, I think my mother trained it out of me. I'm not supposed to watch TV in the daytime.
I know. I was
There's
the
so
same
many
way, I
things
think.
to do.
It was only when I was
Yeah.
sick that I was allowed to watch
Right,
TV during the day.
exactly.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
But like, and my husband's kind of put that in me with football.
Yeah.
Like I can watch on set, but like yesterday I watched Don't Look Up early in the day,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like,
But it's work.
everybody leave me alone. I have to watch this movie.
Yeah. It's so fun.
Fun. Oh, one other question I wanted to add here. Is there an app that you like play on the plane? Like you always like on an airplane ride or something have to play an app game or?
No, I used to do Lumosity.
yeah.
Do you know that one? It's like a brain game, but then Brad actually did it and he was so much better at it than I was. I was like, this is stupid.
It doesn't work.
All right, we have one crazy question for you here. How many unread emails are on your phone in your inbox?
Oh,
you want to tell us?
Do you want me to look?
Because this one here has
many do you
90.
I had 94,000.
Wow.
And
I have less than you.
Nobody's been able to beat her.
No, I have 3,000.
Oh, wow.
3,020. It just went up.
But Melissa has determined I am her project and
Okay.
that she's going to fix me.
How many do you
episode.
have?
Right now, I have, if I have more than 100, I get mad. 94.
Wow.
94.
So you spend a lot of time cleaning up
I
your
try to keep it
inbox.
below 50. See, now
That
this
is
just
so
means
much work.
40 of
Thank
these
you.
have come in while
My
we've been
thoughts
sitting
exactly. But she's made a system for me.
I have 23 text
I'm
messages
supposed to
back.
go
That's
through each day and mark out more and more and more.
I want her to go alphabetically on the computer, and you have to hit, instead of like to organize by date, you organize by who it's from, and you go like A, B, or it's maybe easier to start with Z because Z won't be so big. A will be big. But Z, there's not a lot of things coming from Z. So you might do Z, Y, X right away, right? And you'll be like, delete, delete, delete. And there's like, 50 emails gone. Like not like read, like checked like they're read. Get rid of them or unsubscribe.
I
Got a clean house.
Do you want to do my house for real?
I'll come to your house. I love that stuff.
This is why we need
I
to
can't do
have-
my own. I'll do anyone else's. I recently cleaned my brother's pantry. Like I went to his house and cleaned the pantry. I didn't know what else to do with myself. I was there, nothing to do, no kids around. I cleaned the pantry and he was like, well, that's great. It's just going to be a wreck again tomorrow. I'm like, it better not be. I want to see a picture in a month that this thing looks. I organized all your pasta over here. All your soup is over here. Because it was like, paper towels all over the place.
See, this is why we need the home edit girls on. So because you've not
I
watched
need to
their
work
show.
for them, though, is the thing.
But they have a whole thing. Like you can't create a system if it isn't going to work for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
So
I didn't know that. I need to watch some
There's
home
some
edit.
knowledge that they can impart on us. If
All right, I'll do
I
that.
could use the home edit. Ooh.
Do you want to do the this or that?
Yeah, sure.
Amanda's going to ask you some this or that questions. It's literally just a this or that.
Okay.
You ready? Mm-hmm. Wine or beer?
Wine.
Housewives or Kardashians?
Neither. Sorry. All right. Kardashians.
Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
Soft or firm mattress?
Soft.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Coffee at home or Starbucks?
Coffee at home.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Here's a trick question for you. Country or rock?
You're just trying to get me in trouble. Country, of course.
Wink, wink.
But you only listen to country after you met Brad, right?
Yeah.
I hear that in the book.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Art or sports?
Art.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Very nice.
You
Well, it
did
just
it.
helps. We just like to get to know people in that sort
I
of
know.
way.
I feel like you learn so much about people's personalities
too. Between that and the emails. Too. And what book's on your nightstand. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys. This is fun.
So much fun. And I hope we get to play more. And maybe we just have to take another class at Belmont.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about before you go?
No, I think that's it.
People should go to the store.
Yeah.
.org.
Thestore.org.
And they can get your book on audiobooks or Amazon, right? Or anywhere, bookstores. And go back and rewatch According to Jim, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
and
good,
Father
fun
the
show.
Bride. All the most
So
wonderful
funny. Yes.
things.
I want to go watch Father the Bride again.
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So jealous.
During the daytime.
During the day. Then Mean Girls.
And then Mean Girls.
I just
Yeah.
can't believe you two.
And then we're going to go roller skate in your ballroom.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Kim.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us for What Women Binge. You can connect with all of us on your favorite social media platforms. We have at What Women Binge. Amanda.
I'm at Amanda WWB.
I'm at Melissa Joan Hart. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe anywhere you get podcasts. You can find all of our links at whatwomenbinge.com and subscribe on YouTube. Our wonderful theme song was written and produced by my cute husband, Mark Wilkerson. What Women Binge is produced by Laugh-O-Gram Studios, video production by Matt Giesler, and audio by Matt Lott, and production assistant Jennifer Best. What Women Binge is distributed by Podcast Heat. For more information, visit podcastheat.com.